What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today I want to talk to you guys about games that I unfortunately missed out on. These were the games that I did not own or play back when they were popular, back on release day, back when people were talking about them. These were games that I picked up way past when they were a thing. Now, all of these games I do own and have played and have really enjoyed them. But unfortunately, as I said, I just wasn't there when they were a thing. Now, of course, there were a lot that I've missed out on, so I'm not going to throw every game into this video. But what I am going to do is throw in a few highlights of mine. So if you see a game that I don't mention in this video, there's also a good chance that I've played it or not played it yet. So if you guys have any recommendations of games for me to try, feel free to comment down below. I would love to hear some recommendations from you guys. But without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Take a look at some games that I did not play back when they were a thing, right after the intro. So I'm going to start the list off pretty strong by talking about Super Mario Odyssey. Now, unfortunately, I missed out on this game because I did not have a Switch when it came out. It wasn't until 2018 when I would finally buy my Nintendo Switch and add it to my collection. Once I finally got Super Mario Odyssey, I was blown away. The environments, the new abilities, Cappy was a cool addition. It was just a really fun and cool game. I really liked it, and it was really nice to see finally a new 3D Mario game. There just wasn't a true 3D Mario game on the Wii U, but Nintendo delivered a great game onto the Switch, and a lot of people vouch for me that this game is amazing. It just really sucks that I did not get to play it once it came out immediately. Next up are the Mass Effect games. I am currently playing through Mass Effect 2, and once I am done with that, I do plan to play 3, but I finished Mass Effect 1, and I have to say, I thought it was a really interesting game. I really liked the story, I liked the environments, the characters. It was just a really cool game. Of course, I'm enjoying Mass Effect 2 right now at the moment, and once I'm done, I do finally plan to play Mass Effect 3 for the first time. These were games that I heard a lot about back in their day. I just didn't play them just because I was more focused on Halo and Gears of War and Battlefield and all the other big name games that you would be playing around that time. It wasn't until this year is when I would finally be able to play the Mass Effect games, and I'm glad that I had a buddy finally convince me to play them because these are some really cool games. Can't wait to finish 2 and finally jump into 3 because I gotta say, I'm really enjoying what I'm going through so far with these games. Now, I do want to talk about Atelier Ryza, the first one. I haven't played any of the other Atelier games yet, but I do plan to change that after I'm done playing through the Mass Effect games. But I will say, Atelier Ryza was a really fun JRPG. I really like the story, I like the environments, I like the characters, I just like the game overall. I liked how in the game it first started out as this girl who wanted to venture off of her island that she's grown up on, and of course as the story progresses it gets more interesting and kind of more complex. Avoiding any spoilers for you guys that haven't played the game yet, but I do have to say this was a pretty fun JRPG. I'm glad that I finally got into the Atelier series is because this game was really fun. I can't wait to play the other Atelier games. Once I'm done with the Atelier Ryza trilogy, I do plan to check out Sophie and all the other Atelier games. I really do enjoy what I've seen from the Atelier games so far. Now, a really underrated racing game that I had the opportunity to check out last year was Blur. I gotta say, this is a really fun racer. Essentially, this game is like Mario Kart, but instead of using Nintendo characters and little go-karts, you are using cars from real life. This game is totally fun, and I am just perplexed as to why so many people haven't played it back when it was a thing when it came out in 2010. This was a game that I do remember seeing when it came out out, but unfortunately, I just didn't pick it up just because I was preoccupied on other games. But now, since I finally had the opportunity to play this game, I have to say this is a game that you guys really should check out if you haven't played it already, because it is just really fun with the different cars, the power-ups, the tracks. It's just a really cool game. Now I am so glad I finally found this series a few years ago, and that is Puyo Puyo. My original Puyo Puyo game that I ever played was Puyo Puyo Tetris on the Switch once I got it in 2018. This series is so much fun. I love the characters, I love the gameplay, I just love everything about Puyo. When I finally had the opportunity to play it, I was just having a total blast. I really enjoyed the gameplay. For those that have never played Puyo Puyo before, it is essentially like Connect 4, but more complex, where you try to get chains of 4 with little blobs called Puyo, and the bigger the chains you make, the more junk that you send to your opponent. You want your opponent to get as much junk as possible so you can beat them, and you don't want your opponent to send you any junk at all. It is a really fun game, but I will say that it has quite a bit of a learning curve, so it will take quite a bit of practice. But I will say this was a series I was so happy to play once I had the opportunity to do so. Now, another incredible franchise that I unfortunately missed out on back in the day were the Hitman games. These games are incredible. I really like the story of these games. I like how you are able to decide on how you are going to assassinate your target and how you sneak across the maps. These games are just stupidly fun. Unfortunately, I missed out on these games back in the day, but once I had the opportunity to play these games, I was blown away at just how cool the story was and just the whole atmosphere of the Hitman series. It is a shame that it wasn't until 2014 when I would finally have the opportunity to check these games out. But I must say, these are some really great games, and I do really enjoy them. I'm so glad that I got into them because, wow, what an incredible series. Now, some more awesome racing games that I unfortunately missed out on were the Ridge Racer games. These are so much fun. I love these arcade racers so much. I love the soundtracks, the tracks, the gameplay of it. There is just so much that I love about the Ridge Racer series. It is unfortunate that Namco has seemed to forgot that this is a series that does exist. And I have a video where I talk about racing games that do deserve a comeback, and I strongly recommend that you guys do check it out. I'll post a link somewhere that you guys can watch the video. But when I had the opportunity to play Ridge Racer, I was blown away. I love everything about Ridge Racer. I just wish that this was a series that I played much sooner, because just wow, these are some really great arcade racing games. Now, I am a huge fan of the Transformers series, and it just saddens me so much that I didn't play this game much sooner, and that is Transformers Devastation. I love just how Platinum Games showed so much love into the G1 generation of Transformers, and I really like the overall gameplay, the story. You can really tell that the folks at Platinum Games really did have a great appreciation for the Transformers franchise, especially for G1. This was a fun game that I really did enjoy. I wish it was a little bit longer, but overall, I had a ton of fun playing this game. It was a total blast. It just saddens me that it wasn't until this year that I finally had the opportunity to finally sit down, play the game, and just have myself a good time, because wow, if you are a Transformers fan, this is a game that is a must play. Now, another underrated game that I want to talk about that I missed out on is Crackdown. Crackdown was stupidly fun to play once I had the opportunity to do so. How you jump around, collect agility orbs, take out different factions, drive through the different race challenges. This game was stupidly fun. Unfortunately, it wasn't until about a year or two afterwards, back when it came out, when I had the opportunity to do so. But like I said, I really enjoyed this game, and it is unfortunate that it is pretty underrated. Crackdown as a series as a whole, I do consider to be underrated. And of course, I do recommend that you guys do check out my video of underrated Xbox 360 exclusives, where I do talk about not only Crackdown 1, but Crackdown 2 as well. But I will say, once I had the chance to play this game, I was truly happy that I checked it out, because this game is so much fun. I wish more people played it back when it was a thing. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Please be sure to check out these videos here, here, and here. After all, I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting tips, and other video game related subjects. So be sure to keep an eye out every Monday and Friday where I upload consistently, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.